Hello everybody, good evening, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge, back again with your latest Manchester United news as Erik ten Hag and Manchester United face an injury nightmare that could actually destroy our hopes of Champions League football. It's that significant. Luke Shaw is out for basically the rest of the season. 3 months and Luke Shaw is out. Absolutely devastating. We'll delve into that. All sorts of questions have to be raised. Why was Reguilón let go at a time when Malacia was still injured and Luke Shaw's injury prone? Who sanctioned that? Who signed that off? I think you've got to look at the medical department again. Let's get into it. I've got to say straight away, McWave has got it raised a very, very good point about Luke Shaw. In the case of even whatever happens in the future, we've got to look to be moving Luke Shaw on. Is he now becoming broken? This to me is personal. I've fought against people who didn't like Luke Shaw many years ago. I said I think he's a really good left back, and I felt vindicated when he had that period where he was being called Roberto Carlos, and he was for me one of the best left backs in Europe. I still think on his day he's a massive, massive player for Manchester United. But of course, I tweeted it at about 2 o'clock this afternoon that there was a rumour that it was a bad injury, and then it was about 4 o'clock today that Man United Insider and Chris Wheeler put it out there that it's expected to be 3 months. It probably won't be a season ender, but 3 months takes it into May. I think that this is massive for Manchester United, and I think it poses three big questions. First of all, what are we going to do without a left back? Because it's not just, let's put Amrabat there or Arise, Lindelof. It's a massive problem not having a left-footed left back who can overlap, who is quick, who knows the role, who can bring Rashford into the game. That's a problem. We haven't got Martinez either, so we've got no left-footed players in the defence at all. I think Johnny Evans might be left-footed, but you know what I mean. Secondly, what does it mean for Luke Shaw's future? As I understand it, the injury that he went off with against Aston Villa is not the injury that's now kept him out now. This is a new injury apparently. So that's 2 separate injuries, which leads to the assumption that he's basically coming towards his late 20s. And like some people who've had bad injuries at their start of their career, they just start to break down. It's called overcompensation. If somebody does their left knee, it's very common when they come back, they'll do something to their right knee or their right calf or their right hamstring because your right leg is overcompensating for the injured leg. And Luke Shaw had a very significant injury, as we saw when he first came to United. And it just looks like the rest of his body is just starting to just give out on him more and more regularly. We've said this about Varane. I love Varane and I love Luke Shaw. But if they can't play every week or they're going to miss 3 months every season, you can't. Consistency isn't just about mentality. It's also about injury. You can say, Jadon Sancho needs to go because he didn't turn up and he's not consistent. But you can also say, well, Luke Shaw needs to go because he's injured. That's not consistent either. Consistency takes on many forms. And then the third point is what's going on with our medical department, because Martinez had the same injury twice and has missed most of the season. Malacia hasn't been seen. Our admin said, has he been kidnapped? Is there some hidden story about Malacia? Where is he? He got injured last summer at some point. We've never seen him since. The best ability is availability, says Just Kevin. I agree. And then also, we've now got this situation with the Luke Shaw. And look, my big issue here is, I don't think Sergio Reguilón was ever going to get voted for the Ballon d'Or or the world's best left back. But he was a steady Eddie. In the words of Graham Souness, he was a steady Eddie. And what we need right now is a left-footed left back. And we had one in Reguilón who, I cannot believe it. I want to start on the Reguilón thing. But look, I look at Reguilón and I say, and this is the thing that, look, I'm irritated by a number of things. But with Reguilón, he was playing more games, obviously, than Malacia. And he was playing very regularly anyway. And then we let him go in January, and I was sort of like, why are we doing this? People are trying to pin it on Erik ten Hag. There is no way it's ten Hag's fault. As a manager, I am never going to knock on the door of the CEO and say, yeah, you can send Reguilón back now. It'd be great to save a few $100,000 a month. Send him back. I don't need him. Managers don't work like that. Managers would rather have 3 of something than 2 of something. Managers will always rather, there is no such thing as a manager who says, don't give me any more players. Like, managers want as many options as they can. Like anybody wants options in life. And there is no way this is on Erik Ten Hag. Erik Ten Hag has not knocked on the door and said, yeah, send Reguilon back, don't need him. No way. Because Erik Ten Hag, like you and me, will go, well, Malacia's been out all season. He's not even back yet. And Luke Shaw's injury prone. What's going to happen? And he will have had that conversation. And what will have happened is the medical team will have said, we're expecting Malacia back in January and Luke Shaw's looking good for the rest of the season. So you've got two fullbacks. And if worst comes to the worst, Dalot can play there and you can put Wan-Bissaka at right back. So you're well covered at left back. You've got three options. Well, Ten Hag has to put up with that. But what then happens is Wan-Bissaka's out for 2 months. Malacia's not back. And Luke Shaw's out for 3 months. So suddenly your left back cover Dalot is playing at right back and you're screwed. It's not on Ten Hag. It's on the medical department and it's on the bloody CEO who said, let's save a little bit of money. It's ridiculous what we did with Reguilon, who is now starting at left back for Brentford. So it's just this saving of money by sending Reguilon back. And it was about saving money because it's the only reason we didn't get Cucurella, because Cucurella wanted to come for the whole season and not half the season. This saving of money could cost us 50 million quid because I genuinely believe without Luke Shaw, we might not get Champions League football. I think it's that big. This is massive. Absolutely massive. We're one player away from being back where we were between November and Christmas. No Shaw, no Martinez, and no Casemiro. We're one player away from that now. Martinez ain't back till April. Luke Shaw's not back till May. We've literally gone back to that position where we've only got Casemiro to drop out and we're back where we were. It's absolutely ridiculous. And, the second point is it's going to make our job really hard. Really, really hard. Lindelof was a bloody nightmare at left back against Villa. He got away with it against Luton. He is not a left back. Some wouldn't even have him starting as a right centre back. He's certainly not a left back. Who else? You could put Dalot at left back, but he's doing quite well at right back. So is that worth doing? You've got youngsters like Harry Amas who could come in and play there. But that's, you could put Amrabat there, but it's a plaster on an open wound. And whoever plays there is not overlapping, whipping in nice crosses, are they? So, yeah, it's really, really difficult for us now. And what pisses me off more than anything is that we've had this all season. Quite rightly, Liverpool are saying at the moment our title race might get dishevelled or derailed by the injuries. And I agree with them. But all season we've had this. And I don't know really what to say about it. I don't. It's been all season. And, I know there's a Ten Hag out movement and all that. And I get that, it's down to them, whatever. But I've never known a season where basically we've not had Martinez all year. Luke Shaw's basically going to miss half of the season. Casemiro's missed 3 months of it already, and God knows what's going to happen now. We've had the Rashford incident, we've had the Anthony incident, we've had the Sancho incident. It's just, if it wasn't for Højlund, Garnacho and Mainu sort of exceeding expectation, it's incredible. And look, Manik says, why don't we recall Alvaro Fernandez from Benfica? I guarantee we won't do it because we've got money coming in from that deal. So we won't do it. Like, it's ridiculous.